Okay, so it's been about a week since we got the Worm Factory 360 and we got it set up. You can see here I've added a second bin and I put some wet newspaper in there just to check to see if they're coming up to the second bin. So if we move that, yep, I see worms up here in the top, although when I'm moving that, they go back through the little holes. So I think they're ready for a second bin. So now we need to look at the instructions and figure out how to do that. Okay, so once the feeding tray is filled, it's time to start the Worm Factory's unique rotating tray system. Remove the moist newspaper cover, place an empty tray on top of the feeding tray. This tray now becomes the feeding tray and the lower tray becomes the processing tray. Cover the bottom of the tray with a shredded paper or other bedding material and add 2 or 3 cups of food. Place the moist newspaper cover on top of the food and replace the lid. After a day or two, look under the moist newspaper cover in the second tray. Do you see worms? If so, that's great. They have started migrating up. Continue adding food, a mix of browns and greens, under the moist newspaper cover. After you have 3 or more operating trays, the vermicomposter is in full operation. All right, so basically we just add another tray. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our newspaper out because now they're gonna travel up. If we look under the bin here, you can see our worms happy and healthy in the Worm Factory 360. They're moving around. I've added food a couple times, so they're enjoying the extra space, getting bigger and doing their thing. Happy worms. Okay, so now we're going to put this bin on top of there. And that'll just sit on top of what's already in there. And we have our coconut coir. Go ahead and get that ready. So we're going to do this basically like we did for the first bin. Okay, so we have our coconut coir in there. That was from last time. Then we need to add in shredded paper. And we'll add in some compost from my compost bin. We'll add in some water so that we can mix that all up and get it ready for the worms. And just mix that up. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, and we'll just add that in to our new bin. Get the second bin all ready for the worms to move up. For some reason I get the Jeffersons theme in my head when I say that. Moving on up. All right, so we'll mix that in there. Okay, so we have new bedding in there for our worms. And let's see, we'll start with this corner over here. We'll get some food in there for them. Get them moving on up. All right, we're ready to add in some food for them. It's a salad mix that just kind of let liquefy as it finished up. It should give them lots of good food. All right, get that covered up. As I was finishing, I realized that I didn't add in a little bit more of the rock dust so that the worms can go ahead and make sure that they can digest the food. So we're going to add in a little palmful of that. We'll sprinkle that in there. I'll mix that in. And we'll go ahead and add in the rest of the pumice that was included with the Worm Factory 360. So we'll just go ahead and mix that in there. All right, get that covered up. And we'll add our newspaper back in there. Still got our Project Hail Mary and Take Me to Your Leader. Some other fun books. All right, and we put our lid back on and we are all set. All right, thank you for joining me on this little update of my Worm Factory 360. We have the second bin on there. We've added in bedding and food for the worms to move on up and enjoy their new space. Going to continue this, and I will provide occasional updates just to let you know more about my worms. And also check out Glacier Wigglers. She's restarting her channel, so I want to give her a little promotion there. Just send people her way. She has a fantastic site. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please go ahead and subscribe. And here's a playlist of more of my gardening together adventure. Thanks for watching. See you next time.